but we're so impressed on what technology can do that we're not even impressed on what our children can do. Huh? Do we expect more out of technology we have than the lives we live? Do we expect more out of technology than our own lives?
Yeah, we want flying cars, we want everything. We want, you know. Like the iPhone and the Nexus, they have this app. Well, the iPhone they got what's called Siri, and all you gotta do, you speak into it. You can ask for the forecast, and it'll tell you. You can ask for who won the game. It'll speak back and tell to you. You can ask for like directions to a certain place. You don't even got to even punch in the actual map app anymore. All you do, you ask how to get here from this location, and from like the actual home screen, and it will actually lead you there just by speaking to the phone. Meaning that now, instead of punching something in the phone, all you do is speak to it now. So it's like I guess, a personal guide, guide that just leads you and tells you everything. Forecast, who won the game, how to get somewhere, find the lowest prices for like gas. It'll actually pull that up too, and it'll tell you, go down here and turn there, So.
I think that if you look outside, I don't know, I'm old school too, but kids used to play outside. I mean, my punishment was you can't go outside.
Right.
And you will be looking in the window like, dang, everybody playing curveball, 2-4 and riding their bikes and skating. And now it's like, just walk around your neighborhood or just drive around your neighborhood. You might see 1 or 2 kids out there, might be riding bikes. But you don't really see kids outside playing no more because they're in front of the TV, they're playing video games, or they're online, and it's really sad.
And so what does that say?
Bikes. And if they riding bikes, they riding to the gas station to get a cigarello. I'm keeping it 100.
Right. So let me ask you this. So do you also believe that technology is crippling our kids and their health because now our kids are more obese?
Like when you see folks, hanging out, or if you walk past like a couple and they're sitting down dining and they're eating, they're not talking, they're sitting there texting, so it really cripples people socially. They don't know how to even talk anymore, they just text, or it's crazy, or they just Facebook. They ask out somebody on Facebook and they break up, with them on Facebook. So, it's crazy.
Go ahead, Bree.
Like people my age, I ask them like, how you get to your house? They'd be like, I don't know, I'm gonna just send you the address. I don't like using GPS.
Right.
Because I know my directions. So my parents taught me how to do my directions. And every time I use GPS, I get lost. But people, they be like, I just send you the address. And they just send me the address and I end up getting lost. Just tell me how you get there.
But once again, that contributes to the idea that is technology. The question is technology making us better? No. Or is it making us worse?
Well, it's just, you gotta look at it for you.
Right.
Is it making you worse or better? Some people make it better.
Okay, here's another question. If we lost Christ the same way we lost our cell phone, will we look as hard for Christ the same, just as much as we did our cell phone?
Well, I ain't gonna answer that question. I don't even want to find out.
No, that's a real question. Do we? Some of us think we got Christ in our pocket, like our phone, or in our pouch. He's not there. But because we haven't used it in so long, we don't know it's lost. But since you realize you lost him, will you pursue him as much as you would pursue losing your? Some of us would tear a house up to find that cell phone. We all, huh?
You're saying Jesus is the beeper, and since we got the phone, we treat Jesus like the beepers?
Well, I mean, Well, the pagers, RAM pagers, if you want to get old school. But the bottom line is, if you lost Christ the same way you lost a cell phone, would you keep pursuing that search until you found him?
I will.
Yeah, because people, they be going crazy over their phone. They be looking for hours and hours for
The whole
their
life
phone.
is put on hold, isn't it?
They be like, I'm like, what you doing? Don't talk to me right now. I'm looking for my phone. Oh my gosh, I'm about to go crazy. I'm like, wow, okay. It'd be crazy. Right. I paid $500 for my phone. That's man, they be going nuts.
But let me ask you this question then. Why won't we pursue Christ the same way we will pursue a phone?
It's almost like people are more important than
Huh?
God.
And you know what you're saying subconsciously, don't you? Would you want to say something there? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Before
I don't think people will pursue Jesus as much as their phones, because their phone is physically in their hand. It's something that they can actually see, based on, people believe in more of what they actually see as opposed to something that they actually have to have faith in.
Okay. Let me comment on that. Well, see, watch this though. We're all here because of God's goodness. But you never saw how your phone worked. You were impressed by the results of the phone, which is pulling up your favorite Facebook page, pulling up your favorite website, or pulling up your text, which is the result. We are a result of Calvary and Christ dying on the rugged cross. You didn't see that, and you didn't see how your remote control on your television works either. All you care about is the result, right? So once again, when you look at it from that perspective, the physical result, which is us being here in church, want to know more about God, that's the result. So that is the physical element you're talking about. But when you're talking about the phone, what's the difference? And really what we're saying unconsciously is that that phone has more value than Christ. You're not, either you don't want to publicly admit it, or you haven't done enough soul searching. But if any time you will pursue anything before you will pursue Christ, that thing has more value to you. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Well, I think in that sense, we've made everything more important than God, if that's the case. Hair, our nails, religiously going to get them done, keeping up with our perms, keeping our hair pressed. Look how much money we spend on weaves and wigs and everything. TV shows, clothes, shoes. You spend $1,000 on a purse when you barely even put money in church. So.
Man. Right. Go ahead, Raj. Bernard, get the mic to Raj.
Do you think people had to pay God for, if people had to pay God for advice, to get a result, you think more people would take him seriously?
No.
Or like they had to pay Jesus, to get his time and, to get a result from him?
Well, I mean, some people, let me say this.
Do you think people would take him more seriously?
Let me say this. Normally, and this is marketing strategy. This is real marketing. If you learn in school, if you ever took up marketing, anything that you put a price tag on and you make it have more value, people believe it has more value. When we talked about true religion jeans, right? How do you create a $2,400 pair of jeans? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And then all that does is just make the box more valuable, but not necessarily the jeans. But you're saying because it's free, people have no value on it. And that's a known fact. The majority of anything produced, the value declines. But here's the thing. Hardly nobody wants salvation.
How you figure?
Because, no, let me answer the question. Let me answer this question. Because salvation is on God's terms, not ours. And when it's on our terms, then that means it demands discipline and restriction to things we want. See, people think I'm going to do this and still have salvation. Wrong answer. Impossibility. There is no, it was funny, I was at the council and this one guy said, he just asked me, I mean, this young guy, about 17, 18 years old, guy approached me, he said, is there really just heaven or hell, or is like there's like a middle ground you can like compromise or whatever, you know? No, because here's why he asked me. No, here's why he asked me that. He was having a hard time with things in his life that he didn't want to give up. So he wanted to know, was there like a middle ground where me and God can work something out where I can just go here? Mike, Bree. And that's why I said that too. I said, when I get to heaven, listen, I don't have to have all the trophies. Give me my mug and a t-shirt and I'm good. Just give me my mug and t-shirt, I'm straight.
You was talking about that 17-year-old not wanting to give up something. I don't do something that, I don't do things that I know I might enjoy that is not Christ-like. I don't want to just tease myself, be like, oh, let me do it this one time, and then be like, okay, I can't do it no more. I just don't do them.
Don't do it at all. Don't even try. Don't experiment.
Right. I don't go out that much. I don't do anything I'm not supposed to do. If I would not do it in front of my parents, I don't do it. If I wouldn't say something in front of my parents, like I got a real close relationship with I could tell them a lot of stuff. If I can't tell them, I don't do it.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Let me say this. Do you feel that your cell phone has more purpose than your own self? Absolutely. No. Now, let me say this. Because some people feel they have no real purpose but to grind and bling. That is the sum of life. And if that be the case, then your cell phone can do more than you. If you feel your purpose in life is to grind and bling only, then your cell phone does have, let's talk about purpose just a minute. Just a minute, your purpose. Purpose is the key to a child of God's life. Without purpose, life has no meaning. You have to feel and know within yourself that your life holds more value than the cell phone in your purse or pocket. You have to tell yourself that. You know why? Because if you don't, you will live purposefully or purposefulness. You will live a life without purpose. And a lot of us are roaming around in life feeling that they have no real purpose. And always want to know, how can I be like the next guy and mimicking the next guy opposed to just being original in yourself? When the nation, society, community, organizations, friendships, marriages, clubs, and even churches lose their sense of purpose and significance, the confusion, frustration, discouragement, disillusionment, and corporate suicide, whether gradual or instant, reigns. That when you feel that your life holds no real value, then you're going closer and closer to suicide, whether it be spiritual or physical. Oh, yeah. If you feel the most you can do is mimic the guy that you admire and live a life as a copy, then die as an original, you don't hold real purpose. As you discover who you are, you will learn that your purpose, your identity, your uniqueness, your potential is interdependent. Let me break this down to you. Whoever saw that movie, Hustle and Flow? Mm-hmm. I got the soundtrack. Let me ask you this. And, do you really know what that movie was about? And it wasn't about a pimp who wanted to be a rapper. It was more than that. It was way more than that. Watch this. You had a guy, I'm going to just sum it up just briefly. You had a guy who was a bootleg, low-life or low-level form of pimp, right? And then the guy turns around, he goes to church and hears somebody sings, DJ, and then that's when he gets the revelation that he's called to do something different. As he pursues his quest on his real true uniqueness and identity, he begins to network with people that also had their own that could contribute to his vision. As they continue to pursue and invest in him, they find more and more of themselves, except the little short white girl. Because she was the only one that could not understand her purpose, so she kept following the crowd. Right? Hey, you're right, you're right. I'm in charge. Put your hand on the steering wheel. I'm in charge. Watch this. When DJ goes to jail, right, after he gets to fight with Luda, he goes to jail, and when he goes to jail, everybody goes back to what they were doing before. Was living a life that was work, but that didn't fulfill their purpose. That is what the movie was about. The movie was about dreams, vision, and purpose. And until you find your real purpose, you're going to just be moving in life, wasting time until your day comes when they place you in the grave. And nothing you did contributed or invested in building in God's kingdom, period. Because once you get there, you can't show the Lord your degree. You cannot show the Lord your church stubs or when you did tithe. And you can't show him your baptismal certificate. But what you can do is live a life for Christ so that you actually will produce fruit and a reward when you do die.